Dr. Sabrina, I am so excited for this podcast episode today. We're going to be talking about why you should let go as the business owner and just trust your team to deliver while you lead. And this episode is inspired by several of the business owners in our Better Business, Better Life coaching program, where we've had discussions over the past few weeks about how to free up their time so that they can fully be the visionary for their business. So we're going to dig deep into how your business vision empowers your team to achieve those results that you want. And truthfully, they're the ones that really know best what your clients and customers need, because they are on the inside day to day and they see the gaps. They know what your clients and customers want. And we'll also discuss how autonomy leads to greater buy-in and growth for your team members. So let's get started and really give everyone tuning in today a buy-in. I want your total buy-in on this idea that trusting your team to lead up delivery is just so vital to the growth of your business. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is how your vision, and when I say vision, this is your concise and clear and compelling vision, really shows your team what direction your company's going, and how they fit into this vision in their role. So can you speak to that just a little bit, Dr. Sabrina?
Yeah, so I want to speak to the buy-in first. We had a mic drop moment in our Ascension group this morning when Sarah Martin came in and she said, and I quote, "My team is so competent, I don't need to go to work." So if anybody is hesitating as to whether or not to spend the time listening to this episode, that doesn't give you buy-in, I don't know what does. And that's really what this is all about. Sarah has done a great job over the years of getting her team to buy into her vision, and they are showing up excited to deliver on that vision. And so when we have a clear, compelling, vivid vision in our businesses, and we convey that to our A-player team members, it's really like giving them a canvas. And we have done the paint. You remember paint by numbers when we were kids? We've given them the paints and we've given them an outline of the pictures, but their job is to fill it in and paint it and make it beautiful. And they don't always have to follow that number one lines up with the color red. Like, you could go with yellow as long as you make this beautiful picture. And that's the beauty of a clear, compelling vision, because it gives your team members autonomy. They know the end result that they're working towards, but how they accomplish that, they have freedom to figure that out. They could even paint outside the lines and it could still be that beautiful picture, that vision that you've created.
Okay. So you got my buy-in so many years ago when I started with Tap the Potential and took over the role as lead strategist. And today, oh my goodness, you lit me up. We were meeting and I said, Dr. Sabrina, I want to rework this course that we have. And here are the results. Here's what I'm hearing from our clients who are in this course. And you said, Melissa, just do it. Don't ask for permission.
Yes.
And run with it. And that's because I'm in the day-to-day and I see what our clients need and I see what our team needs. So what did you have to do to get to that point where you just said, Melissa, just go do it?
Well, so I want to be really clear. I wouldn't just bring in any team member and say, here, you just go do whatever you want to do. It'll be fine. You've built my trust up over the years. And so you have shown me every time you've taken on a project, you make it better than what I envisioned. And that's the beauty of A players on our teams, is because they're so immersed in the day to day, they have a much better handle on what the clients and other team members need than I do. And so my ideas about how it should get done could be very wrong. And, anything that you've taken over from me, you've come behind and made it better. And I fully believe it's because you're more in the day to day than I am. And so it's a process of building trust over time, but it starts obviously with being able to hire those A players. And if anybody needs help with how to hire the best, I mean, we've got a book on it. We've got a course. It works. We have clients who have multiple A player candidates. They're having a hard time choosing between their A player candidates when they're hiring. So it starts with bringing on those A players, and then giving them a clear result that they're supposed to deliver, and training them appropriately in that result, how to do that. But once they're doing that, let them go to town, innovating with respect to how to deliver that result better.
Yeah. So you're hitting the nail on the head here. Inside the business, I have one major focus, and that's delivery. So my mind, my time, everything that I'm doing is solely focused on exceptional delivery for our clients. So I'm constantly refining our program in working with our delivery team. But business owners that are listening right now, you have so many things going on in your head. You're thinking about the finances and how to make payroll and how to bring the revenue in, the gaps that you need to fill, all of the hats that you're wearing. So when you find this team member that can solely take over and build that trust, then it opens up so much opportunity. So I do want to be clear here. This only works when you have the systems set up for your team members. And you can bring a team member in who is an A player that can help you set up these systems.
Mm-hmm.
Other Sabrina, speak to the business owner who has nothing set up. Balls are getting dropped on delivery, and they're just not quite there yet. And they're looking for that A player on the team to come in and just love on delivery and make it exceptional.
So that used to be me, very much so. And most of what we delivered at Tap the Potential was in my head. And anytime we would bring on a new client, first off, I was the one selling and I was the one delivering. And so I would hesitate to sell because then I knew I was going to have to deliver on it. So talk about a bottleneck on the revenue. That was a big bottleneck. But once I brought on a salesperson, and then sales were moving along, and now we're looking at delivery, one of the things that I found so important is that when you're bringing on somebody and you don't have systems, is you need to bring in somebody who has the strengths needed to create systems. There may be somebody who is a great caring coach who loves your clients, or in whatever. I mean, we're in the coaching industry. Our listeners are in different industries, but there may be somebody who is great at doing the doing of whatever it is you're doing, but they may not be good at creating systems. And that's not the person that you want creating a system in your business. And that is a gap that we had at Tap the Potential. As I brought on some coaches, they were good coaches, but not good at creating systems. And so Melissa came in. She has a strength for coaching, and that was great. But this other kind of hidden strength that has really become an asset is building systems and looking at how do we take something like our focus at Tap the Potential is to create ease for our clients. Ease with respect to freeing up your time. So how can we quickly teach you what you need to know and coach you through what you need to do so that you have more and more hours freed up? And by the way, Melissa is so good at this. Our clients have a 7x increase in their free time. 7x. Okay. That wasn't even a goal, but we're collecting data on this now. And now we've determined there's 7x. So I think our next goal probably will be 10x. But we'll get there. So, um, she started looking at, how can I make this easier? How can I reduce the complexity and document what is being delivered so clients know what to do when? And it's not just the documentation of, this is what's going to be taught and this is how the flow it's going to happen, but it's also having an appreciation for creating space for the clients to have their own uniqueness in their business. And so we had to systematize that. And so when you're bringing in someone to create systems, Melissa, I think a key piece is understanding what your sweet spot is and
Mhm.
being able to convey to the person who's responsible for the system that's going to serve the sweet spot, to understand that a system has to be created to take things that feel like maybe you're dancing in the moment and you're doing something highly unique and highly individualized, but how do you turn that into a system?
Sure, sure. Another piece to this that I want to make sure is revealed here is what your key team members need. So when you have a team member who is over delivery, likely they're on your leadership team, and really break down what they need to be successful.
So, yeah. So you can't just say, here's the result I'm looking for, go have fun. There needs to be ongoing communication.
Yes.
And that process for a weekly or every other week one-to-one, where they're checking in with you, bouncing ideas off of you. And there is going to be that place where that team member is coming to you and saying, what do you think of this? Or I have this idea. What do you think? And that is a natural part of the progression as you and the team member start to build trust. But as that team member grows in their leadership, then you can become more and more hands off, like I am with you now, Melissa, and just say, hey, go and do it. But there needs to be this ongoing communication. There also needs to be clear expectations about the results that you're looking for. And if that team member can't say to you, here's what I understand that you're looking for, and feed it back to you, it hasn't been communicated clearly.
Mhm.
What else do you think is critical, Melissa?
I think it's critical to look at the people on your leadership team. Um, Look at their needs like being an invested partner in your business. So I didn't come to this place by being completely trapped in doing all the doing every day. So there's critical things that have to go on my calendar every week for me to be successful. And it's one thing that we established a long time ago for our leadership team. And that's professional development time,
Mm-hmm.
including reading
Yes.
and thinking time.
Yes.
So I need to step out of the day to day. I need to walk away from my computer. I need to be out of meetings to actually have time, just like you as the business owner do, to think about this role and think about my KPIs. So those results that I'm responsible for achieving, and reflect on what's working, what's not working, and how can we do things a little bit easier or more effectively? What systems do we need to improve upon and identify those gaps? So that's a key piece. And when I don't get those times, I don't feel like I'm moving us forward in delivery. So those are time blocks that are non-negotiables on my calendar every week.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely critical, is just that space to think and be creative, especially when we're trying to simplify something. Because a lot of times when we're in and we're doing, all we can see are more tasks that we need to do. And we're not asking the questions of, like, what are the essential elements of what's being delivered that are responsible for that result? So what's the 20% of what we're doing that's responsible for 80% of the results our clients are getting? And what happens? What can we cut? What 80% can we cut from what we're delivering? Because, I mean, let's face it, we're all busy. No one wants to sign up for a coaching program where you have to go do 100 things. Like, we don't need more to do. We need less to do. And I think this applies for most any industry where you're serving clients and customers. How can you make things easier and simple for them? And that takes that, you have to have that creative space, that thinking time to identify those things.
Yeah, you really do. And this comes back to what we teach our clients, and that is work supports life.
Mm-hmm.
We all operate by a 25-hour work week. And having that ability to take time off of work, to put our self-care, our families first, and having a team that really embraces that. We have each other's backs so that we can do that. That allows us to have that mental capacity when we show up, because when we show up, we are all in.
Yes. Yes.
So that is huge. And I just want to circle back to this autonomy that your team members need to experience. So once you have those systems set up, this is really going to create the buy-in that you want from your delivery team. And when you couple that with the vision and the key results that your delivery team is responsible for, you are going to have so much satisfaction from the A players on your team, and employee engagement is going to soar. Retention from your clients and customers is going to go through the roof, because now they're coming to work and they're exciting because they are owning the results that your customers and clients are experiencing.
Yes. And here's like a little secret about this is because it's been systematized, it's no longer in their head. They're not having to think about what they're doing. They're following the system. And so it starts to feel effortless. Like it amazes me, Melissa, when we're in groups and we're hearing the results our clients are getting, and we're like, wow, that's incredible. We didn't do hardly anything. It feels like we didn't do hardly anything. But we did. We did a lot. We put the right systems in place and we delivered and we taught the right thing at the right time so they could have that result. And that took a long time to get there and a lot of trial and error to figure that out. But it's that feeling of, for them, like, oh, this is much easier than I thought it was going to be. And for us, it's like, wow, that happened fast. How much faster can we get that result for them? And that's where that next level of systemization comes in. Like, okay, if they achieve that result in this amount of time, what could we cut that in half? What could we do? How could we make this even better for them? Yeah. And that's where that employee engagement really starts to soar, because that's not the business owner's job to figure that out. That's the team member that gets to figure this out and to be the one who owns, hey, I created this result.
Absolutely. So as you're tuning in today, your next steps really are to look at who you have on your team and how your operations and your delivery team are working together. How are they communicating together? What gaps are you experiencing? One of our clients last week has a ongoing challenge because she's losing clients due to decreased satisfaction. So balls are getting dropped. And as I'm coaching her through this situation, we discovered there's a gap between operations and operations and delivery speaking to each other. And part of this comes down to one thing. They had let go of one system in their business that would have solved all of these challenges. So when you have the right people in the right seats and you're speaking together, that's when the innovation starts happening and you're identifying these gaps. So you're tuning in and you're thinking, oh, this sounds amazing. I would love to have this. I don't know how to get started. Dr. Sabrina, what would you recommend any business owner who's listening? What is their next steps? How can we support them through this?
Book a call with our team. So when you go to tapthepotential.com, there's a link right at the top that says schedule your call. Just book a call. You'll get a link to Caitlin's calendar. Caitlin is our success team lead, and she will walk you through our Better Business, Better Life assessment, and she'll send you the link for how to take that assessment. And then she will look at your results and she will tell you, hey, this is what you need to focus on. These are your $10,000 an hour activities that are going to deliver the biggest result. And she'll also look at where you are in your business and what your challenges are and make a recommendation to you about which of our offerings is going to be the best fit for you based on where your business is. So you can book that call with Caitlin at tapthepotential.com.
Incredible. Thank you. And here's the teaser. When you complete the Better Business, Better Life assessment, it is going to show you where your gaps are. So take that.
We also send you a signed copy of the 4-week vacation when you take the assessment. Like, it can't get any better than that.
It's a no-brainer. And the 4-week vacation book has an outline on how to create your vision. So if you haven't done that yet and you're hearing us talk about it and you're just thinking, what in the world is that? Why do I need it? Read the book.
All the prompts for writing your vision are in the 4-week vacation book. It's all there for you.
You give it to us, Dr. Sabrina. Thank you. So on the next episode, we are going to discuss how to lead with trust without micromanaging, because this was the second part of the conversations we've had in group lately. So tune in next week and learn more about how to trust your team without micromanaging. Bye for now.